Bulan 2 sa Tolu FM, enapan 2 raki-raki.
Bula FM namban 2 inosor.
Go etabo ke bota kola sa Bula FM nga.
Bula FM namban 2 Korbu.
Bula FM namban 2 Sawa.
Bula FM namban 2 Lotoka. Bula.
Namban 2 nang Bula FM memba.
Bula FM
namban 2 NSR in Singapore.
Kalau talita kada warong nang Bula FM Lotoka.
Ali akar warong Bula FM namban 2 NSR.
Bula FM namban 2 NSR.
In this bulletin, Fiji Elections Office launches a voter education program. Save Power, FEA pleads as Monasavu Dam nears critical level. And People's Democratic Party reveals party plans and vision for Fiji. Good evening, I'm Jackie Spate and this is FBC News. The Supervisor for Elections today launched the voter education program as preparations get underway to educate the public on what is to be expected at the polling stations. The media was the first to witness what is expected.
What this afternoon for us, what the demonstration aims to do is just to try to demystify some of the perceptions out there, particularly for two issues that there are. And one is that voting will not be done electronically. It will be manual on a ballot paper. And secondly, you'll only get to tick once and not 50, as has been heard.
We initially want to create an atmosphere where there is a sense of understanding of the process, and eventually when our team gets onto the field, they're able to clarify any doubts and also carry out a very brief session with the members of the public, and then have a mock exercise to conclude, to allow everybody to get a feel of what is to be found at the voter education at the polling station.
The Supervisor of Elections has also confirmed the Fijian Elections Office will be using the UN standard ballot boxes.
The 2006 general elections, ballot boxes were sealed with tapes, and the problem with tapes is that in Fiji's high terrain, they can either lose grip or tear off. But for the 2014 general elections, we will be using tags like these. These are uniquely numbered tags.
There will be no time limit for citizens in the voting booth when they cast their ballots on polling day. The Fiji Electricity Authority is facing the prospect of another month without adequate rainfall to fill the Monasavu Dam. Due to this concern, Chief Executive Officer Hasmukh Patel is calling on the public to save power. Shireen Lata reports.
The rainfall received during the rainy season from November to April was below the long-term average, and this has resulted in a low level at the Monasavu Dam. The current water level at the dam as of today stands at 734 meters, which is only 19 meters above the critical level. This could become worse as the dry season will begin in the next 2 weeks.
Now, at this time of the year, especially when we are in the middle of the rainy season, we would expect the dam to be almost nearing full. But that hasn't happened.
A similar situation was experienced in 2013, whereby for some 8 months there was below average rainfall at the Monasavu Hydro Dam, which resulted in a comparatively low dam levels.
Now the trend in 2014 appears to be heading that way. Nevertheless, things could change. In the next few months, should we receive rainfall unexpectedly, then the scenario could change. FEA has prepared a contingency plan.
The last resort for the Fiji Electricity Authority would be to purchase a new diesel plant so that the electricity demand in Vitilevu is met. This process will take at least 2 months, and this is not an easy decision to make.
If we had to hire a plant, obviously depends on the, the number of plants, diesel generating plant that we get in terms of megawatts, or we buy in terms of megawatts, and of course it will cost an arm and a leg in burning the fuel to operate them.
The Fiji Electricity Authority is once again pleading to the members of the community to conserve electricity. Shireen Lata, FBC News.
Former South African Police Commissioner George Fivers is tipped to be the next commissioner of the Fiji Police Force. Fivers was here for an interview last month, then returned home to discuss the appointment with his family. Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama at that time confirmed on an FBC Radio Fiji Talkback program that a South African national was tipped to become the new police commissioner. In 1995, Fivers was appointed South African Police Commissioner by then-President Nelson Mandela and held that position until 2000. An announcement on the new appointment is expected from the government soon. ACP Ravi Narayan has been acting police commissioner since last September, when the term of Brigadier General Yohane Naivalorua ended. Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama has sent a condolence message to the President of the Republic of Korea, Park Geun-hye, on the recent ferry sinking. In his message, Bainimarama conveyed sympathy on behalf of the people and the government of Fiji. Early this week, a passenger ferry carrying over 300 people capsized and sank off the southern coast of South Korea, killing at least 7 people. South Korean Coast Guard and Navy divers resumed their search today for the 290 people still missing, many of them students. The People's Democratic Party has for the first time today revealed its party policies, plans and vision for the country. Speaking to Chanel Sivan, party president Andy Siviangoro gave some indication of what their manifesto will contain.
Andy Siviangoro is currently at the helm of the newest political party. Previously, she served as the Minister for Commerce and Minister for Industry in the multi-party cabinet of Laisani Ngarase.
Economic policy is the first thing that we will look at. And look at that quite specifically. There are other factors that we're going to look at, and one of that is the strengthening of the judiciary, and to be able to, that they will be able to do what is their core functions and their mandate.
You say you are going to look at the economic growth of this country. How?
Something that's in our manifesto, and I'm not too sure whether it's quite too early to be talking about it, but let me highlight a few things. One of the things that we need to focus on quite specifically is the productive sectors of this country.
The PDP has also revealed it needs $350,000 to contest the general elections.
If one is fielding 50 candidates and you're covering the whole of Fiji, it is quite expensive.
The majority of the funds are generated by the member subscription, which is $1 per person. The PDP will hold its inaugural convention in Lautoka early next month, where it will elect a party leader. Chanel Shivan, FBC News.
Still to come on FBC News, Christians urged to remember the true meaning of Easter.
Today FM is #1 here in Singapore.
We love Today FM in Lambasa. It rocks!
My favorite station in Nandi is Today FM.
Listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks in Sabah.
Lautoka City love today's kid music.
I love Today FM because they play all my songs.
We love Today FM at Vuniva Lambasa. Yeah, it rocks!
I love Today FM because it rocks.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
Welcome back. This is FBC News. The Lautoka School for Special Education will now be able to hold computer classes for its students. This has been possible following the donation of 10 computers to the school by the Reach for Your Future Foundation. The new computer room in what used to be the dining room was officially opened by Attorney General Said Qayyum. Said Qayyum says the mark of fairness and maturity in any society lies in the manner in which they treat minorities.
You will see in the new constitution of Fiji, for the first time in our history, we have rights, special rights for persons with disabilities. It recognizes the fact that there are many in our society that do get left behind, in particular people with disabilities, people with special needs. And therefore it must be incumbent upon any government that comes in to ensure that those people with special needs, people with disabilities, get looked after.
Said Qayyum also opened a new IT center at the Andra Sangam Primary School in Lautoka this afternoon. Christians around the country will celebrate Easter from tomorrow night through till Monday. Easter commemorates the resurrection of Jesus Christ after his crucifixion at Calvary. As Savara Tambor reports, it's remembered with church services, singing of hymns, and the dramatization of the events that took place on Mount Calvary about 2,000 years ago.
Easter is an important event in the Christian calendar. Today, Methodist schools around the country held church service to remember the important event and its meaning to them.
Easter is very important for us because it's the time of the year that we remember the death of our Savior, Jesus Christ, on the cross.
I also support the commemoration of the death of our Savior on the cross.
The Methodist Church believes that Easter is a time to begin afresh and will be more meaningful if we remember the reason Jesus gave his life to die on the cross.
I'm pleading to all Christians who are listening in now to try and make this time a very useful Christian time and commitment, even if they are not Christian.
Meanwhile, the Fiji Police Force will increase its presence around the country during the long weekend to ensure the safety of the general public. Police are also pleading with parents to strictly monitor the movement of their children.
We are really pleading for the members of the public to cooperate with us during this long weekend, ensure that children are always well monitored, and if they are left in the supervision of others, that they are responsible adults.
The public is requested to make this long weekend a safe one and ensure the safety of the family is prioritized at all times. The Fiji Police Force would like everyone to enjoy the incident-free Easter long weekend. Sabera Tambua, FBC News.
Expect another Fijian product to hit the international stage in the years to come. Wakai Perfection, the brainchild of Fiji Water founder David Gilmore, was officially launched in Suva last night. Josephine Navula reports the organic ginger product is expected to carve its niche on the growing global organic market.
Businessman and owner of Wakai Island, David Gilmore, has been working on his new product for the past 5 years. The Wakai Perfection is a brand name for what will soon become a diverse range of organic offerings.
Where we've invested 5 years in developing what will be known formally over the very short next period will be from shampoos to skin lotions to turmeric, which they've now discovered, Duke University discovered that actually can prevent. It doesn't cure, it can prevent cancer of the mouth.
The collection will include organic products such as turmeric, a rejuvenating Dilo facial cream, ginger shampoo, and many other derivations and discoveries of the bounty that comes from Wakai Island.
Is creating a collection of health to be used externally and internally. So we're just launching next week in Europe our salt. You say, well, salt is salt. No, it isn't. Most of the salt that's available in the markets is contaminated.
Chief Guest Attorney General Ayaz Sayed Qayyum says it is very good to have an entrepreneur like Gilmore in Fiji.
Start up this new business venture, you start of course others. But I'd like to also say to David that he's also very privileged to be in Fiji also, because Fiji does give that level of, first of all, whenever you mention the word Fiji, it conjures of a very, very positive image in the minds of anybody.
Organic products which are currently in powder and capsule forms will be sold locally at all Tapus outlets. Josephine Navula, FBC News.
A Fijian man is trying to become the first person to translate the Hindu scripture Ramayana into simple English. Rashika Kumar has more on this.
Rovind Kant of Soloveneni has been working on the translation for the past 5 years. He has divided his Saral English Ramayana into 3 parts. He has been referencing both the Jwala Prasad Ramayana, which is widely used in Fiji, and also the Ramcharitmanas written by Tulsi Das in the 16th century. Both books are quite lengthy.
Most people don't understand the Hindi version. Yes, people do understand some who are highly qualified and educated in Hindi. So there was a big gap in understanding. But the people saw the importance regardless, even though they could not understand. So I wanted to bring that gap together.
Kant hopes by simplifying the holy books, people will understand the scriptures better. The first volumes have been published. They'll be on sale in bookshops from next week. Rashika Kumar, FBC News.
Sports now, here's Jamie with the latest.
Good evening. Coming up in sports, the Vodafone Fiji Sevens team has been named for the final leg of the IRB circuit, and Fijian government puts pen to paper with PGA Australia. Details after the break.
Gonga elambasa Mbula FM number 2 na sere.
Ndo talita kana borong na Mbula FM number 2 na sere su.
Au wait tu geraki au rebot tu nistima au ndo talita kana borong na Mbula.
Bola bina Fiji, Mbula FM number 2 singa toka.
Bola bina era roga. Mbula FM number 2 tikola.
Bula FM number 2 na sere.
Welcome back to FBC Sports. Vodafone Fiji Sevens coach Ben Ryan has retained 10 of the players from Tokyo and Hong Kong for the final leg of the IRB series. The no-nonsense coach is counting on them to deliver when push comes to shove in Glasgow and London. Salen Dadakadaka reports.
It was a memorable birthday gift for rugged forward Apisa Indomalele to be named in the 12-member squad. The 25-year-old says it's not just birthday luck, he plays to win.
I'll try to play well and work together as a team, and I'll try to win the 2 tournaments.
The team currently ranks 3rd on the series points table, and Ben Ryan is looking for a strong finish.
It's a tough final legs. I think the European teams have a big advantage on travel and have always done well. You know, England, Wales, Scotland often get to the quarterfinals in both these tournaments, so they haven't been doing that, Wales and Scotland, recently, so it's going to be very hard to get into the quarterfinals in Scotland with France, Argentina and Kenya. Hugely physical sides, all of them, so we're going to have to run them around.
The side broke camp for the Easter weekend today and will resume training from Tuesday. Salendo Dakavak, FBC Sports.
Netball Fiji's latest appointment of Julie Hornweg to the Fiji Pearls is only for 6 weeks. Whoever is chosen to lead the national team afterwards will be in charge for 3 years starting this July. Expectations are that the next coach will be from either Australia or New Zealand. Elaine McDonald has more.
Julie Hornweg's netball expertise is beyond compare on the international scene, and her familiarity with Fijian players makes her the perfect choice to prepare the Fiji Pearls in such a short time. It's the reason she was chosen ahead of others who had certain demands Netball Fiji could not meet.
To continue to coach or be based overseas and then travel to Fiji from time to time, for us that was not going to work. We wanted someone here permanently that will run our development programs and that will go out and scout talent in rural areas and run programs to uplift the standard of coaching.
It's been established that the new Fiji coach after Hornweg will be from the Oceania region. Meanwhile, before the June World Netball Cup qualifier against the Cook Islands, Fiji looks forward to test matches against Papua New Guinea and Northern Ireland.
Northern Ireland is an interesting team. We haven't played them for several years now, so we don't know what to expect. But we know that they'll be strong, given their recent their results over the last few years.
Malawi has been the only test Fiji has hosted in the last 3 years. Netball Fiji hopes to attract more international teams like England and South Africa, who have scheduled tests in Australia and New Zealand. Elena McDonald, FBC Sports.
The government and PGA Australia signed a 5-year deal today to stage the Fiji International, which is set to become one of the biggest sporting events in the country. It's estimated the staging of the tournament will generate a multi-million-dollar economic benefit. Christopher Chand reports.
We should hold this in front of us, like that.
Signed, sealed, and the tournament will be delivered to close to 400 million viewers across 40 countries when the Fiji International tees off on August 14th at Natandola.
The imagery of Fiji, the imagery of the golf course is going to, in our opinion, showcase Fiji in a wonderful light, and we believe will lead to ongoing tourism. Over time, we'll also be highlighting the real estate that's available for sale adjacent to the golf course through FNPF.
The $1 million golf tournament is the newest leg of the PGA Tour of Australasia and has already confirmed the participation of Fiji's golfing legend Vijay Singh and his son.
As you may recall, the Prime Minister signed an MOU last year, and in the MOU we had said that there would be a long form of the agreement. The MOU is generally I suppose, the introduction to the agreement, setting out some of the general principles, and this essentially in detail sets out the full rights and obligations of PGA and also the government of Fiji.
The vision is to see the Fiji International grow and to attract more attention to our shores in tourism dollars and investments.
A very, very important event. We believe will yield a very positive, not just publicity for Fiji vis-a-vis marketing for Fiji as a tourism destination, but also in terms of leading to job growth, in terms of increasing a different segment within the tourism industry in Fiji.
With the agreement now signed, organizers will start preparing for tee-off in August. Christopher Chand, FBC Sports.
Basketball Fiji today received a major boost for its Easter Championship. Coca-Cola Amatil Fiji presented goods worth $4,000 to be used by the teams taking part.
I think at Coca-Cola we believe very strongly that it's beyond sponsorship, it's beyond money, it's really about true partnership, and it's about getting together with our partners and in this case basketball to really grow the sport and to support the sport and help get all Fijians involved in the sport.
At the LAICI Easter Cricket Championship currently underway, Brisbane's Western Suburbs Cricket Club is feeling the heat. The team suffered early losses, going down to Oneilau by 4 runs, then the Super Warriors by 78 runs. And despite losing 2 matches, the visitors are happy to be here and believe that Fiji provides for some very good cricket.
They're very spirited in the field, they've got great arms for throwing the ball in, so you can't take anything for granted. And when you've got great cricketers, it doesn't matter what nation you're playing in, you're playing against great cricketers, and you get better, you become better yourself and you become better as a team. So I think there's a place for them to be playing in Australia, no doubt about it. It's great.
Meanwhile, in the first semi-final on Saturday, defending champions Suva Warriors meet the Suva Crusaders. And in the second semi-final, Mode will go up against the winner of tomorrow's match, where the Western Suburbs take on Lakemba. And that's it from Sports Tonight. Good evening.
Business entities who engage in purchasing goods and services from overseas suppliers are to exercise extreme caution when dealing with their overseas business transactions and payment instructions. The director of the Financial Intelligence Unit, Razim Baksh, says cases have recently been brought to their attention where business entities have fallen victim to such dealings. Cases reported to the unit show that email correspondence between the ordering local business and their overseas supplier were intercepted by cyber criminals. They would then use email spoofing to communicate with the local business and advise them that due to changes in their finance and accounting department, the payment should be directed to another bank account which belongs to them. Baksh says that for 2 cases, the unit has been able to successfully trace funds and is liaising with the foreign counterpart. We've reached that time. It's Weather with Trish.
I see you're back for weather. Well, this is what I have for you today. Good news for most centers today, as it was fine in the morning as well as in the afternoon for the capital Suva, Lautoka, Mba, and Nandi. But for the very hidden paradise Savu, it was cloudy all day. For Lambasa, it was going good as it was fine in the morning, but cloudy later in the afternoon. Looking at temperatures for the 6 major centers, the lowest was Savu with 29 degrees, Nandi followed with 30, whereas Lautoka and Suva together graced 31 degrees, while Ba and Lambasa were the highest and hit 32. Getting to tomorrow's weather, most centers such as Suva, Nandi, Lautoka and Ba will have fine weather all throughout the day. Lambasa will be playing ping pong with fine in the morning and cloudy later in the afternoon. Again tomorrow for Savu, cloudy in the morning and also the afternoon. This picture was taken by Kini from the very beautiful Muscat Cove. Thank you, Kini. This is the sunset after the blood moon.
Thanks so much for that, Trish. Just a quick look at our top stories tonight. Fiji Elections Office launches voter education program. Save Power, FEA pleads as Monosavu Dam nears critical level. And People's Democratic Party reveals party plans and vision for Fiji. To this week's poll question, we're asking, should the old Rewa Bridge be demolished? Visit our FBC website to take part. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. That's FBC News for tonight. Join us again at the same time tomorrow. And as the 4-day Easter weekend begins, we wish you all a safe and enjoyable holiday. Bye for now.
It's always Gold FM for us at Golden Point, Raki Raki.
Gold FM is #1 in Lusaka.
Gold FM is Nandi's best radio station.
It's always Gold FM with us here in Singapore.
Old is gold, and Gold FM is #1 here in Lusaka.
Singapore loves classic hits on Gold FM.
We listen to Gold FM here in Tagua.
We love Gold FM in Ba.
We've got beautiful beaches, people, and Gold FM in Raki Raki.
Lautoka loves the classic hits on Gold FM.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.